So this is the Dyson ball vacuum or Dyson ball animal. They have many different kinds, different colors through the years. And most visibly that you can see here is the ball right here. And so if your vacuum or your Dyson vacuum has the ball down here, most likely this video will work for you. And what we're going to do is, as you can see, this thing is filthy. I mean, look down here, you can see a bunch of hair, bunch of stuff down here, and it has not been thoroughly deep cleaned since we bought it. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take this thing apart and show you how everything comes apart and how to get to everything and help you clean it yourself. So that way, if you have one just like this or similar to this, you can clean it yourself by watching this video. So it's important to keep in mind that there are a few parts on this. There's a filter in here, and then there's a filter on, I believe, at the very top here that comes out. And I know the one up here you can clean by washing it in cold water. I'm not sure about the bottom one here, but either way, both of those parts are replaceable. And I will leave a link down below in the description, so that way you can buy new ones if you want to. I probably should buy a new one down there and probably just buy a new one up there since they do sometimes come in pairs. And most of the stuff here that we're going to take apart is replacement parts too, to keep in mind. All right, so we're going to start off with the bottom piece here, the piece that goes on the floor. It's got a bunch of hair on it wrapped up here. I'm not going to clean it on the video, and I'll probably put it back together before I clean it, just to show you how it comes apart, how you can clean it, and then show you how you put it back together. Otherwise, this video will probably be about 30 minutes long, and I don't want to bore you with the details. So the way you get this bottom portion off is there's a clip below here. You have this clip right here, and you have to remove it, and you'll be able to get this thing off. So what you're going to do is you're going to basically pull away on both sides here, and then you can remove this clip. Now you're going to be able to basically remove this. There's a connector right there, so just keep that in mind when you put it back together. And what you're going to do, well, this thing's going to move on me here, but first thing you want to do is inspect in here and see if there's any clogs in here or anything that you want to remove. And there isn't on this one. And the next thing is we can remove this portion right here so we can get in here and get this hair out. So how we're going to remove this portion is, you can see this right here, on right here, you basically pull this open like that and pull this one open like that, and now we can remove this. Now keep in mind that you have little clips there and they go in here, so when you put it back together you want to hinge it there first before you put it back in here and lock it. So now you have access to this portion, and they put these grooves in here so that way you can get scissors in there and cut that out. So the hair, you can get scissors in there and cut that out and roll this through. This isn't too bad, but this thing rolls just fine right now. So we'll be able to remove all the hair there. All right, so put this thing back on. You kind of want to get these lined up and then get it set in there, and they will click in place. And then you can take this one and that one there, and you're good to go there, and it's in place. So what I found is the easiest way to do this, instead of putting this clip on afterwards, you put it on first. Just kind of get it on there, ready to go. And then now you'll clip this on to the actual unit itself. Just press it in and it'll clip and hold it in there, versus getting these two lined up, pressed in, and then that on there. So as you can see here, you got the female section of the prongs here and then the male prongs here. You want to line those up and press those in, and then get this kind of lined up with that as well when we get that ready to go. So I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this very much, but you should be able to get that lined up and then give it a little click, push, and ready to go. This thing moves as you go, so just keep that in mind. And that is now ready to go. So the next portion is we're going to remove this canister right here so we can empty it. And this is the pretty easy part. This is the basic part of maintaining your Dyson vacuum. But the first thing you want to do is press down on this, and it releases it, and you can pick up on it. And now we're ready to go. Now don't press don't press this further down right now because it will release this bin. So as you can see right here, the mechanism is pressing it down. And if I press it further, it is going to press this thing down and release the bin. And I don't have anywhere to put it quite yet, so I want to make sure that I don't press it right now, but I can carry this to where I need to go. But we're not done once we empty this out. We want to get this motor part away from here, and I'll show you how to do that in a second here. Okay, so by pressing this further down, it now allows it to remove that bottom part. It's on a hinge, and then you can empty it out. Well, now that I've emptied it out, obviously you can see it's not super duper clean, but in order for me to get inside this canister and remove this, when you press this down and remove that bottom portion, you can see here there is a button that this thing has now given you. And that allows us to remove this upper portion by pressing that in. It allows us to remove, oops, there it goes, get it out from there. So now you can actually clean this portion right here. And it's a good idea to clean that portion there. And I use just a brush. As you can see, it's getting cleaned right there. And I'll link some of these brushes in. These are detail brushes I use for detailing cars. But you can get that cleaned up, clean that up here, and get this so that there's nothing clogging that up. In order to get to, there's a filter up here. In order to get to that, you need to, you pull up on this, and then the filter is down there. And there it is. You just pull it out. So this filter can be replaced, but also, as you can see, it's got like a little faucet on there, and you can clean it. Dyson recommends cleaning with just cold water only, and you can see it's dirty in there big time. And so what you do is you run underneath the cold water sink and then wring it out. You can wring this thing out like a towel, and you can keep wringing it out and rinsing it until it is not as dirty as it was, or all the dirt gets out of there. And then what you want to do is you wait 24 hours before you put this back in. You can look underneath there, in there. It's clear, clean, that's good. So to put it back in, do that. You clip that in, push it down, you're ready to go. So now we need to put this thing back in here, and we want to line this up with that clip and make sure everything kind of lines up, and it goes in there pretty easily. And then we can also close that up. Now this thing is ready to go back on the machine. Okay, so now that we got the canister off this, there is a gasket here, so we want to make sure the gasket's good. It's not cracked or broken. But you can tell this has got a, let's see right here, a vent on it, so you can't really get anything stuck in there. But if there's anything stuck in there, you can probably pull it out. But also, there is a tube behind here that you can remove and do vacuuming by hand. And this thing is the door that opens that up. And you just kind of, it's on a hinge right here, and I think some kind of twist up, but slightly, just look in there. You can see right there it goes to the hose if there's any clog there, anything that needs cleaned out. And that goes to the back hose here on the back side. And there's nothing there, so we're good to go. So we can close that up. That just opens up when you use the hand wand on this. All right, and so there is a filter down here, and the one side that has the color on it, the color right where this is, this unscrews just like a just regular screw. A nut that's on a nut, lefty loosey, righty tighty. And then you can remove this, and this filter has a little groove here, and you can rotate it and it comes out. And so this is your filter. I don't know if this is the HEPA filter or what. I think this is the HEPA filter. Or maybe that was in, I don't know. This is a filter that helps filter when it does all that it needs on the vacuuming. And so you can buy a separate one of these, and I think it comes with the other one. And to get it back on, just the opposite way that you put it on or took it off. So now you can kind of see that this screw right here moves with the base. So when you put it back on, that might play with how you get it put back on. a little bit because it moves with the base feet. So keep that in mind so that way you're not cross-threading it. Or it might be difficult to get back on because you can't get to the threads. But play around with it until you get it back on. So now we're back on, we're ready to go. Let's move on. Okay, so the last thing, we want to make sure that the hose is cleared out. And so basically, remove the top, slide it up, and now it's free. And then you press this button and you can remove this wand, and then you can look through it to see, I don't know if you can see that, if it's clogged or anything like that. Then you can also look in here, make sure there's nothing in here clogging it. And then you can also, sometimes these do get cracks in them or breaks in them. So you can pull these apart and see if there's, just inspect it to see if there's any cracks and pull all the way out. This hose can be replaced. So you can check to see if there's cracks in there. It will definitely play with the sucking power and suction. And then to get this back in, slide it back in. And then just kind of hangs on this, ready to go. And then I said last but not least, but this is last but not least. And this just kind of easily goes right in here and clicks right in, and we're good to go. Obviously, we didn't deep clean inside here, show that on video. You can do that yourself. Once you get this out of here, you can clean the inside of this and the outside of that inside filter, and you can clean this further out. But that is, in a nutshell, how to take this thing apart and inspect it for clogs, anything like that. Whether it's clogged up, not working, pulsating, going on, off, all that type of stuff, not a good suction power, all that type of stuff will be because of it being clogged up or just not cleaned very well. So keep that in mind. Hope this video helped you out in some way. If this is your first time to my channel, please consider subscribing for more tech reviews, home automation, home and automotive how-to videos. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.